Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this video is probably going to be titled something along the lines of Lions don't care about the opinion of sheep. Now, before we go into that topic, let me quickly start off by saying that it's been a while, as usual, but I've had an operation, so I needed to recover a bit, and it was actually taking place in my mouth, so they went from inside, and I couldn't speak for 4 to 5 weeks, and the wound is still not healed completely, but it's getting almost, like, I would say it's almost fully healed, but not completely. But I can speak again. Like, started speaking again probably 4 weeks ago, 4 or 5 weeks ago. And since the new year started, I've also been doing some other side stuff in terms of looking up where the future or my future is headed. But yeah, it's been a while, and I wanted to record a video again, as usual, just one take, and yeah, just share what's new, and continue this documentary series. This documentary. No edits. And yeah, so coming back to the title of the video, it's almost like 1 month before my birthday, and I'm going to turn 23. I'm quite old, getting old, yes I know. But with age comes wisdom, as they say, right? So I think over the last few months, I really realized how less I care more and more about the opinion of anybody, truly. Like, for a long time it was my parents, then obviously friends and acquaintances and girlfriends or whoever. But now that I'm getting older, and I think I'm quite early, because I see guys in their 50s, 60s, or even when they're in their last 3 years before they die, still being worried about what other people think of them, and it's quite sad. And now obviously I don't hang around that much with people who are almost dying, but even my own friends, when we go out or when we meet, and I realize how nervous they are or shy they are, I'm always like just really dazzled and just and I always reply something along the lines of, you do realize that those people are not paying your bills, right? Because I think now obviously there are a lot of ways to I wouldn't say get over it, but to truly be free from the opinions of others and all the quote trauma or whatever you've been through, and that made you less of you to some extent, because when you were a child you were just like speaking loudly, doing whatever you wanted, and didn't care about the opinion of others. But the older I get, the more I realize that the sooner you can adapt that, because I'm still not there. I would say that I still care, and caring what other people think can be beneficial to some extent. Very little. Now you can be authentic, but if you were like 100% authentic, you would just walk around naked, and that wouldn't benefit you also. So the older I get, the less I care, and the more I just want to pay that ignorance tax and get over it, because there is a long journey ahead of me, and I really miscalculated how long it is actually going to be, as all young kids do. And yeah, I just wanted to let you know that no matter what you do in life, don't become the 60, 70-year-old guy who is bitter because he couldn't free himself from the opinion of others. And I have to be clear here. When I mean free yourself by the opinion of others, I don't mean like just do crazy shit. Like, because it's not that either, but it's more of a way to be your authentic self to the extent that it is appropriate. Now we still live in a society, so you can't just walk around naked, and I don't think anybody probably would want to do that unless you're a fucking weirdo. But now, why is that really important? The reason why it is important, and I realize it every time, even in the last videos, because I still act to some degree, but it gets less and less. Obviously, English is not my mother language, but still. The reason why it is important is because when you are truly authentic and truly yourself first, everything just flows. Second, you attract people, and as wishy-washy and fucking, I don't know, gaga goo this sounds, funny word, you truly capture the attention of people who are aligned with your core identity. And people see through it. Like if you wear masks, and I see it all the time, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. Everybody wears masks. Even I wear a mask now subconsciously. But the problem becomes when you let the opinion of others, especially in this context, sheep, people who are doing nothing with their life, who are just mind scrolling on Instagram, doing the same shit every day, let those people's opinions affect what you do. And I'm actually quite proud of myself, because I see people who just don't get it. Like they just don't get it, and it's been it was very hard for me to get over that, because especially, this is very interesting. I've had a friend of mine reach out the other day, and he was like, yeah, I saw your videos and all this and that, and why didn't you upload more? And I was itching for a moment, because obviously this is quite a vulnerable side. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. If I'm not the best speaker, I speak well enough to be able to record a video. I've seen people speak far worse than me. Obviously, just look around all the fucking Twitch streamers, right? But however, the important thing is that you don't let the opinion of others affect you. And also, just start. Like, I procrastinated for so long, especially because of the opinion of others, that I was like always in my mind saying, yeah, I don't know what to post, or I don't know what to build, that I was always using that as an excuse. But internally, I was just afraid of the opinion of others. But I guess I stopped caring. And it's not that maybe I have a proclivity, something like that, to the fact that I don't care. But I wouldn't also say that I was the type of person who was like completely free-minded when they were young, as young kids are, right? I mean, when you're a child, you don't give a fuck. You just do as you want to do. By the way, I have a good setup. Look at this. I can just, yeah, I know. I'm doing it now. However, even though I wasn't one of those kids, I was probably better off than most. So I don't know, maybe it's just my view. Maybe I was even worse than that, because I always had this belief that, or not this belief, I just took actions in those areas where I was where I thought I was worse at. And funny enough, those areas became my best. Like I could have never imagined just recording stuff like that, right? But seeing me push through all of those chapters and just continue and to just eat the shit, it's truly mesmerizing. Like I'm really proud of myself in that regard, and a lot of other stuff. But it's just important for anybody who's younger. This is probably for anybody who's younger, and just start. Like, you got one life, and life life moves faster than you can blink. Like, I was 19 yesterday, and I'm turning 23 in like almost a month. And the funny thing is, I knew it would come, I knew the dam would break, like the water would just flow, because I knew that I would reach a certain age where I would be so frustrated with where I am at in life and what I've achieved. I mean, I've done okay. Let's put it that way. I've done okay, but like that, I knew this dam would just break and I would just not care because everything else is far worse. Like people mocking you, or people laughing at you, or just people, I don't know, just you being completely even, let's say, what's the worst outcome people can think of? Like, even if you get thrown off or just have to leave society, or just like getting out circled, like as if you were in school, is far better than not doing the thing you want to do and what truly matters to you more, and being really authentic and expressing yourself. Maybe that's also one part of why I'm doing this. Now obviously there are other reasons, but one of the reasons I've realized also is that I have this, and everybody does it, right? Your subconscious wants to expand, and if you don't smoke, if you don't drink, if you don't do drugs, if you don't indulge in any other activities, if you don't chase unlimited girls, if you don't cope with any of those, you're going to find another way. Whether it's building a business, recording videos, building a YouTube channel, doing art, or I don't know, just developing skills, there is going to be an outlet. Now, I kid you not, this is also one of the reasons why till this day I have not yet sipped a little bit of alcohol. Because I know that if I resist all of those urges and all of those outlets, the energy has to go somewhere, right? So I end up doing videos, I end up building more skills, I end up building a business. I really think that one of the best things you can do to cope with all the emotional trauma is just building, man. Like just developing and working. Like I wouldn't say I have yeah, I probably do, but like I have to some extent developed a work addiction, because nothing really, I don't care about anything. Like when I was young, I used to play video games a lot, and I used to do a lot of sports. But when I stopped those activities and I finished school, I was like, no, I don't really care about anything. Like there was a time, like I think I would say after school, where I chased a bit, yeah, you could say I chased girls for a period of time. But then even that, and I'm not saying you don't have to socialize, but like even that was empty. Like I really in my core realized that anything besides building, whether it's skills, building a business, building this channel, is just empty, man. Like I don't even, obviously we all want the money and whatever, the fame and etc. But I truly understood from this age, it must have been probably half a year ago, that even if you, I mean, it's the circle of right? It's the circle of right. It's the circle of life, right? So even if you get all the things you wanted when you were younger, you still want more, etc. And then eventually you realize it was actually you building something that really mattered to you. And therefore, I don't even care about the outcome of most of these things. Like, I just want to build. I just want to record videos. I just want to get better. I just want to just get better. Like, the last time I didn't have the setup, and the next time I record a video, I'm probably going to speak a bit more fluidly or look more into the camera. But yeah, just don't care. Just like you have to not give a fuck. And here comes the part. Oh, there came a notification. So another one. So here comes the part that's really important. You're going to suck. I'm going to suck. You're going to suck. Whatever. If you start something new, you're going to suck, and you have to indulge in it, because if you don't quit, you're gonna suck less. And eventually, you're gonna get better. Now, let me finish off by saying this to you, and maybe this clicks. there are a lot of people who are 60, 70 that I speak to on a day-to-day basis in my job, who are really wealthy, but who are just so empty because they gave up on their dreams. They just did the safe thing, and now they're 60 years old. They got the money. They're in their last enjoyable years of life, and they usually end up buying some boat and saying, I don't know what. They always buy some boat and just go sailing, whatever, right? But inside of them, and some of them, this is the very dangerous part, are very bitter. Like some of them are so bitter and angry because they let themselves down. And in hindsight, I can fucking guarantee you that they wish they would have just tried. Like they wish they would have just tried and maybe failed. Who cares? At least they would have tried, because then they would have, their conscience would be satisfied. And I kid you not, if you speak to those people, you can just feel how they are miserable, man. And that is a very, very bad existence. Like, if you're a young person, and especially with these social media days that we still have ahead of us, obviously AI will come, but you just have to understand that a lot of people in this world do nothing, and they're gonna hate you. And I'm kind of saying this also as a motivating factor for myself, because although I don't care, a part of me cares, but it's getting really, really small, and I think it will be soon gone. You just have to do shit and don't care. And I know there are a lot of people who have, there are also a lot of people who don't care at all about even, for some this talk might even be like very, like, oh yeah, obviously I don't give a fuck, you don't pay my bills, I don't care about you, I don't know who you are, right? But there are a lot of people who are like me, who may have a lot of potential. That's the thing. And they just care because their mind is just analyzing and just doesn't stop. So for those, I say, do it. Otherwise, you're going to be a fucking miserable geezer who ends up on a sailing boat, and you don't want that. Yeah, we got 17 minutes. I spoke for 17 minutes. Oh, it's quite okay. Let's see how long the next one will be. Bye.